Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the People's Pantry. I am your girl Lonnie. We are getting ready to kick off Insane in the Membrane. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. What is happening, everybody? You already know who it is. It is your boy, your guy, your one and only Estu Chico, Spicy Poppy. Yes, you already know the reigning culinary authority on this channel. Ashley, tell them about yourself.
What's up, you guys? Therapist Bay here. As usual, I'm just chilling, laid back as always. I'm excited for this episode, and I'm excited to see what y'all got for this Tasted or Wasted this episode. So, Kid, how you doing today?
What's up, Ashley? I'm doing good. This your boy, Ked Slee. Believe the hype. I'm here. I woke up this morning. God is good, baby. Lonnie, what's up, baby girl?
What's up, y'all? So we're going to go right into a little round table. We're going to check in with our people. I feel like, we quarantine, although we still see each other. We don't really get to, talk and vibe and see what's going on. So let's take a couple minutes and just check in. What's up, Ashley? How are you? How your week? What's going on?
Yeah, girl. In the world of Therapist Bay, it's been pretty much crisis after crisis. So it's been a lot of control going on. You got to learn to disconnect. And when you're real empathetic, it's kind of hard to disconnect. So usually that's why I'm so laid back. This is why y'all get neutral Ashley, because I'll be tired. But you know what, though? It's Friday tomorrow. And I'm going to have a drink in my hand, and it's going to be a good weekend.
Nice.
How you doing, Chris?
Well, it's my liquid diet's almost done this week. Tomorrow's my last day. And thank you. And it's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been hell. Not that hungry. I'm doing it with my mom's. I feel like my mom is more optimistic at this point than I am because I just want to fucking eat. But she lost 2 pounds. I lost 5. I'm feeling good. So every liquid Gatorade is just, oh my God, it just tastes so good. I'm like, I'm going to survive this, but I'm good. I'm hanging in there. And I finally registered for my first semester of social work school on Tuesday. So yes! I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. Yeah. Ked,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, man, congratulations on that, brother. Ashley, I feel you on that blase week. It's been a blase week for you, man, because I'm in the process of that hateful word that everybody black hates, and that's movie. You say that to anybody black, and I guarantee you they're going to disrespect you. They're not going to call you for about 3 or 4 weeks until that shit is over with. So, yeah, that's where I am, man. I'm in the process of trying to get moved and get situated. Even during the quarantine, that's what it is. I'm just working through a few kinks, and I should be done with that process by the weekend. Other than that, I had to take a ride early today because I had to clear my mind. Man. I was just beat. So I kind of hit 285 and I rode around 285, and I played. Ashley, you posted something earlier about playlists and skipping songs and what your mood was. That's me, literally. I have playlists that I create. Sometimes I skip every damn song on that playlist. Sometimes I'll play it in the order, but like today, I played the same song for the entire ride. All the way back home, and I played it probably 10 or 15 times, I know, and that was LL Cool J 357 nice. Off of the Bad album, the Big Endeavor album, man, and that's just one of my favorite classic joints. Y'all know I'm a classic hip hop head. So
what was hitting? What did it? What lyric was hitting to you that you just needed it on repeat? What was it?
It's really, if you play this song, the song to me, it goes hard in the paint as soon as it comes on. LL is this is not the LL that y'all know from the movies, the TV shows. This is like the hardcore.
That's the only one I know is Big.
Yeah, see, I was telling my son, because he was with me. It was me and Ked. Little Ked was with me. Well, he's really big Ked now. He's bigger than me. But anyway, we was riding to it, and he was like, "Man, this is LL." I was like, "Yeah, that's not the LL you know from TV." I said, "This is hardcore, 1984, 85, just hitting the scene, Def Jam, LL Cool J, that's hard." And he comes on, he just talking, just Cash Money shit. LL was a shit talker. So he comes on talking shit, and then the way the beat drops, it just motivating you. And I'm just in and out of traffic, and I'm doing disrespectful shit to other people. You know, I'm cutting people off because I'm feeling it. You know, it gets you in that type of mood. And it's this one part in there when he spells his name, his government name. He spelled James, and there's like the guys in the background like JAMES, and the shit just going hard. And I had Ked head bobbing, and I'm like, you know, I'm acting like it's circa 1991. I'm about to be a senior in high school again. And you know, I just had a great ride home. I cleared my mind. I got ready for this, and so now we here, man. So that's my week in a nutshell.
Well, shout out because it's June is what is it, Black Music Month? So
yes.
Shout out to you to blasting that LL for Black Music. I mean, every month is Black Music Month, but everybody else is celebrating with us this month. So.
Oh, and one more thing, Lonnie, I want to, you know, I pulled up to the gas station when I was almost home, and I was playing that music really loud, and Karen walked by. And I opened the door, and you know, my windows are rolled up, and I have a black vehicle, and my windows are tinted. So I mean, it's kind of almost, I won't say it's illegal, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. But so you can't see in there. So when I open the door, you know, it gets louder, and then Karen, she's startled and shit. And all I could think about was, where is this about to go? Because she kind of stopped and looked, and I looked like. And, you know, I'm one of them cats that I'm going to go back and forth with you. So I'm kind of glad that she went on about her business. And, you know, I left it loud as hell because I just walked in the store because I had to go and get my stuff for Taste of the Wasted tonight. And I left Ked in there, you know, so I'm like, you know, as long as you don't have no problem. But I just had to mention that, you know, mind the business that pays you.
Thank you.
Karen, mind your business, Karen.
Thank you. Damn, Karen. You should have been like, hey, Karen, you wanna hop in the whip real quick? Just to make her a little bit, you know, feel a little bit more uncomfortable.
And she heard LL talking about a 357 and some of the stuff that he'll do to it. Now, she might have would have gotten turned on by that because, you know, the ladies love Cool James.
Karen ain't checking for LL.
Nah, she was about a 63-year-old Karen. She looking for Dean Martin and shit. You know, she looking for them cats. You know, what's your man? I did it my way. What's your man? Tony Bennett. That's what she checking for.
You stupid.
People.
How you doing this week, Lonnie?
Man, I'm good. Like, I kind of feel bad that y'all is over here hungry and fighting Karens and shit, but because I feel good. Like, I took a little sabbatical from Instagram, and well, I mean, I don't have Facebook, but from social media last week. And I came back feeling good as hell. Like, I was just taking in too much stuff, and it was making me feel away. Like you, Ashley, I'm hella empathetic. I'm an empath, so I was seeing stuff all day long, and I was carrying it. Like, going to sleep, can't even sleep good because I'm waking up thinking about people that I actually don't even know, which is actually really, really ridiculous. Like, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, so I took a week away, and then I came back this week, and literally I think I had maybe like 10 or 15 messages from people that was like, yo, Lonnie, where you at? You all right? You good? Like, just checking in. And so the idea that people were checking in to see if I was okay felt really good. Like, it felt like there was like a genuine connection there that they missed in their lives. So to come back and feel missed and loved in a community that I really value, because I really value this weight loss community, felt good. And it just kind of set the tone for my week. It's been good. Like, I feel good. I got some good news.
You feel cleansed.
Yeah, I feel cleansed. I put on some jeans in size 14. I have literally never worn a 14 in my life. Like, it's been a good week. I'm not losing no weight. My scale is not moving. However, like, my clothes are, well, I don't know how clothes fit because I haven't worn clothes since March. But I put on these jeans that I normally would not have been able to fit. So my week is good. And I think that goes into my rant. So my rant is like less of a rant this week because I'm positive. My rant is 2 parts, right? So my first part is like, simply thank you to y'all, right? So my pantry, who belong to the weight loss community, like, this community is, I can't even put to words the idea that the place on the interwebs that people who do not know each other have this common thread that binds us, and we're like a family. Like, it sounds so crazy, like, to hear it. But it's crazy. The community is amazing. I feel blessed and honored to be able to know so many great people and have these connections and relationships. So that's my first part. The first part is like, thanks to y'all, right? So y'all are my community. And then the second part is just an encouragement. I heard a saying like 3 or 4 years ago. Raynell Stewart, who is Super, we know her as Super Scent. She started the Crayon Case. She was making a comment about the idea of her makeup. So how she at first was nervous to get into selling makeup because there's like MAC and Sephora and all these other big box companies that are already doing this thing. What sets her brand apart? And she said she was walking through the store one day and she was walking down the bread aisle and there's so many different types of bread and people are buying all of those breads. So the idea is that you have this thing and there could be a million things just like this one thing, but yours is for someone special. Like yours is for somebody, you have this thing that someone else needs. Like take that leap of faith, sis. Like whatever it is, you got this desire, you want to start this business deep down in your belly. You don't know how, you're scared because everybody is doing this thing. Like it's for you. You got it. Like we need it. Whatever gift that you feel like you have to share, but you don't know how just to put it out in the world. Just do it. Take a leap of faith. We need you. People are counting on you. Super Scent now was like, I think a billionaire or some crazy thing. She's literally a Black girl from the 9th Ward of New Orleans who is now a billionaire because she started her makeup company, right? In the midst of the Max and I don't know any other Urban Decay, like of all of these makeup brands, like she still did it. So my second part to my rant is like, do it. Take the risk. Enroll in them classes, you know what I'm saying? Make them cups, talk to them people, do what it is that you think that you need to do and put your art into the world because we need you. And that's it. I'm mature today, y'all.
I'm so proud of you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. You know what's so crazy, Lonnie? Somebody messaged me on Instagram and was like, have you spoken to Lonnie? And I wanted to be like, oh, you missed Lonnie.
Girl, no, people was missing me, which is crazy because I feel like, first of all, a lot of times I post for myself. I think I was talking to Ked, like, I think people get so big-headed on Instagram and social media that they forget where they came from. My posts a lot of times are for me. So when I'm like ranting on my page that don't make no sense half the time, it's mostly because I live alone, so I ain't got nobody else to talk to. Y'all are my friends. I'm just talking. And so the idea that people miss me and like miss my content is like, whoa, it's mind blowing. Like, yeah.
Well, that says a lot about who you are, your character. I mean, hell, I missed you because not only because of your content, but because, you know, you're my partner in ratchet crime. So I'm like, damn, you know, I'm sitting here laughing and shit, and I'm like, damn, I can't even share with Lonnie because her ass ain't even here.
Can't quit playing. Your ass was screenshotting and texting me stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, she put me on blast. I'm Mr. Petty Pendergrass, baby. I put the P in that word. So
I missed it, and it was some other people like that too. But even like I mentioned, like the connections that went offline. So texting with Ashley, texting with you, Ken, Chris, like still having that piece to kind of keep me accountable and hold on to me. I wasn't on social, but me and Ashley was still talking about that water and them exercises, right? Like we were still keeping it going, and I don't even really know how to put words to the way that feels. Like this idea that like you belong to something, and it's something that feels good and it's serving to everybody. It's not a one way, right? Like I'm not just here looking to get something from y'all or y'all get something from me. It's like an actual connection that's serving everybody. It's so
you know what? To piggyback off of what you just said, Lonnie, you just showed the dynamic of who we are as the People's Pantry, because a lot of people would probably say that we put this together, you know, to take advantage and or jump out here and put ourselves out here to become famous or do this or do that. It's not even like that with us, because we have a connection outside of this. Before we even jumped into this, we've had this connection. Me and Chris, we talk, you know, all the time. Like you said, you and Ashley talk. Lonnie, me and you talk. Me and Ashley talk. Same vice versa. We all kind of bounce off of each other. We feed off of each other at different times. This is not the only time that we get together as a group. You know, there are individual things that we do together, then there's group things that we do together, and then it's just, you know, that's just the way we are. I mean, this is a family right here. We want people to understand that we are genuine from where we coming from. We're not out to get nothing from anybody. We just spreading the wealth and learning as we go too.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I know that when I was researching surgery, I was never not going to have surgery. As soon as I knew that my insurance would pay for it, I was going to do it. But as I was researching, I wanted something like the People's Pantry. I wanted to see brown folks talking about their life after surgery. I wanted to see brown folks talking about what was sex like, what was eating like, how was your family, do you have kids? I wanted to see that. And so to me, the People's Pantry is so important, and this community, because we're what we were asking for, right? Like Toni Morrison says something to the likes of, you have to write the book you want to read. I think the People's Pantry is, we're delivering content that we want to watch. Like we want to know what's going on. We want to be raw and real and see it. I think that's why it's so special. The People's Pantry, and then much bigger, the weight loss community as a whole.
Absolutely.
You know what, Lonnie? I think you touched on something very important, because I feel like in certain aspects, at least for me, like I started from a place where I was just like forgotten about. Nobody cared. Nobody worried. Nobody really. It was just like, oh, nobody's like, oh, where's Chris? You were just kind of existing. But now after surgery, because we help each other out. We're such a big network, and we just motivate, and we're just there when people just want to talk. So when you pull yourself away, it's like people don't have that attachment to you anymore. People are just like, okay, well, I needed to talk to you. Like, you know how you got to call your mom every day, you got to call your pops every day, you got to talk to somebody. So even for me, like, I didn't post this much because why? I didn't have the energy to post this as much this week. So I'm just like, you definitely need to cleanse yourself. And you just need to like rewire, rethink, but other people notice. And it's like you said, it's good to feel appreciated and be such a big part of somebody's life. Cause I came from a place where I was just there. Like nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. So
I had no idea. I had no idea that, that's why I didn't make a big announcement like, oh yeah, I'm taking a week off. Like I just did it because I had no idea that I had no idea. It blew my mind. Whoever reached out to Ashley, man, you dope. I'm here. I'm back. I'm finna prepare for my rants that probably don't make no sense. I think I said something about like water can't put out fire on another post or something.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
I talked to Lonnie. I was just like, she was explaining something. She was going off, and I was like, I think I know what she's talking about. But I was just like,
don't they say like you gotta open up the window? So okay, so on verse 48,
she was talking about the sweet sweatband. She was talking about the sweet sweatband.
Yeah. So on verse 48, the man tried to set the car on fire, but the car didn't get enough oxygen. And so the fire expert says something to the likes of like, you gotta roll the windows down because fire needs oxygen because water don't let the fire out. Okay, I shouldn't use. I was trying to say like, don't use the non-sweet sweat stuff with the sweet set because it's science. Is what I was trying to say. I was tired. I literally did like 11 miles. I was talking. I was like, did I say water don't put out fire? That can't be right. Somebody.
She started seeing things and hearing things like, what? This sign says don't give up. So I'm losing my mind a little bit, but I'm not going to give up. And then it was wild. It was crazy.
People messaging me cracking up, and I was like, this is what y'all miss? I'm a whole hot ass mess.
We miss it, girl. We miss it.
They miss you. They miss you being you.
She's
they
back.
Definitely miss you
She's
being
back.
you. We happy that you back. And yeah, I still screenshot stuff and send it to you, whether you saw it or not.
I be needing it too.
Absolutely. Hey, taking it over, baby. We're going in everybody's favorite segment on the show, Taste It or Waste It. We supporting our brother this week on Taste It or Waste It. He's doing a liquid diet. So tonight we tasting liquids that are essential to weight loss. The people that have had the surgery, whether it's protein shake, whatever liquid. So everybody's got a different liquid choice, I'm sure. We don't even know what each other's got this week. So it's about to be a big surprise. I have Core Power. Ooh. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. I've normally been a pure protein drinker, so People have been saying this is like drinking a chocolate shake. It's really good. It's 26 grams. It's got a little bit more sugar in it than pure protein. It's 5 grams instead of the normal 1. So, I don't know. I gotta kind of play that one by ear to see where it goes. But that's what I'm tasting. Chris, what you got, bro?
Oh man, I just want to first say thank you all for your support and the fact that you're willing to taste liquids with me on camera. Like that's a whole family. That's a whole family.
Brother, you are family.
I love you
Absolutely.
guys. But you've seen it, you've heard it, you've probably tasted it. I got me a Premier bananas and cream protein shake. I see Lonnie's face, and you know what? Lately, I've been getting that face from Lonnie quite a bit.
All the time.
But all the time.
Ever since the seaweed.
Yeah, she's never gonna let me live that down. But this is not bad. It tastes just like what it is, bananas and cream. It's very creamy, not overly sweet, 160 calories, 1 gram of sugar, doesn't taste diety. And Premier protein shakes really don't taste too diety, but it depends on what you get. I haven't tried that cafe latte one yet, but I'm gonna try that one soon.
Okay.
Ash, what you got?
I'm keeping it very simple. I am dehydrated from last night's drinking, so I have water.
Good.
What?
Good. Drink it. She don't drink water anyway.
I don't drink enough water. I don't drink enough water at all.
Oh my God.
I'm dehydrated. Lonnie, what do you
got?
So, Profi is life for me. I take my
Profi.
Profi drinking very, very serious. It's not a joke for me. So I'm drinking. I haven't mixed it yet. So this is my base, my Profi base. Let me tell you what's in it. So first of all, post-op pooping is a blessing. So I put Miralax every single day. So it's Miralax.
Really?
Get Miralax, and then I have an espresso. So this is a double shot. I don't drink decaf. I do drink actual espresso shots. I do a double shot of espresso, and then I do 2 pumps of my sugar-free cinnamon dolce.
You know about that dolce?
It looks like this, and then I mix in Premier Protein. So I can't stomach. I was supposed to do 21 days of my pre-op diet. I literally cannot stomach even smelling protein shakes of any flavor, including caramel. So I can't even drink this plain without wanting to gag. Like I feel sick. I do like the bananas and cream, but I have to mix it with the strawberry and do like strawberry and bananas.
Ooh.
Good. Listen, y'all.
I'm slipping.
Days. It's good.
I'm slipping.
It's good. Let me show y'all. So this is the best part of the Premier Protein. So I shake up the Premier Protein. Right?
We see the pour. Where's the pour? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that glass looks so good.
Commercial.
Commercial.
Premier, you see that? Premier? Sponsor us.
Oh.
That is good, girl. That's good.
Oh, look at running down the ice cubes. I like that.
This is my favorite part, and I haven't. So
protein porn.
This is a new coffee flavor that I'm trying today. So I'm trying it on camera with y'all. I've never tried this flavor. I have no idea what this little coffee pot tastes like. So it's for tasted or wasted for you, Chris.
Wait a minute. You put Miralax and you drink espresso? That'll have me on the toilet for a week.
So, listen, pooping is a blessing these days. Coffee does not make me go. It used to, but post-op, no. Mm-mm.
That's all I need. Coffee, that's all I need. You guys ready to dig in? I got a couple of liquids. I got soup.
What else you got?
I got some coffee right there. Let me get this coffee.
Yeah, what's that?
What?
You got
tomato this?
Soup? Yeah, okay, what's in there?
I got tomato soup. I got this is just a regular bottle of water with one of my grape flavored Skittles, sugar-free juice pouches.
Ooh.
So good, so damn good. And then of course, I'm gonna probably have to go to the bathroom after this because I'm drinking a whole bunch of randoms.
Listen, you gotta make it till midnight. You gotta make it till Friday at midnight. Do what you gotta do.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it, brother.
You guys ready to dig in?
I'm ready.
Let's get it on.
This one takes a little coffee-ish though. You like Chris? Have you had that? You've had the banana one before. Oh, Ashley
My
got something
favorite.
else.
Community coffee with some sugar-free caramel flavoring.
Do you
I
have
always
a
got
sugar-free brand that you like? Because you use Skinny syrup too, don't you? Or you just use the what is the brand?
is it Tarani? Is that what it's
Torani,
called?
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you use.
Yeah, because I seen Jacqueline use it. And I think I might have seen you use it maybe before, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I use. I buy them. We got like a outlet store. I get them from there for the low. But people have been using Skinny syrups, and I wanted to see like I've never really tried them.
Well, you know, I am going to Trader Joe's tomorrow. Hey.
Yeah.
So you
Hey.
addicted now. Now you addicted.
Mm.
There it is, baby.
Oh, this is good. Y'all get y'all listen, this is called Profi. Anybody who does not know, this is called Profi. Y'all get y'all some Profi.
It looks so creamy, so good. Oh my
So
god.
good. I'm a barista. I'm a
I've never been on y'all tempted me to try iced coffee. I've never tried iced coffee. I always drink mine hot. I'm an
It's
old
so
guy.
good, kid. Look,
in Atlanta,
listen.
in the 199-degree weather, you still drinking hot coffee?
It can be 105 degrees and I will have me a cup of coffee. I promise you I will. I love it to death. I love hot coffee. You know, I'm old school. Just give me some cream and sugar and I'm good to go.
We're not gonna get on a Dunkin' Donuts though. We're not gonna do that. Not today.
You know what?
Wow.
I heard some about Starbucks today that
Me
really
too,
confirmed
Ken.
Oh
why,
yes.
why I
Me
don't
too,
drink
Ken.
Starbucks.
Let me get my
Yo, Starbucks. Everybody that's calling me out about Starbucks, y'all need to check y'all folks out over there at Starbucks and see, do you really want to purchase or buy coffee from them or anything?
Wild.
I know. Unfortunately, I will not be making any purchases until they allow their employees to wear paraphernalia that says Black Lives Matter.
I
girl.
don't
Go
understand
ahead
that.
and get you an espresso maker, girl. Save all your coin. Ken,
You know,
how was yours? Was that good? That little shake situation?
It's good. It's a good alternative, but I like Premier's better. Premier shakes is their chocolate shake, because when I was doing my liquid diet, I did the chocolate and the caramel. But then after I had the surgery, I couldn't stomach caramel at all. But it just didn't taste. It made me want to throw up. I mean, that's not nothing against it, but I just couldn't do it. But so the only one that I was able to do post-op was the chocolate, and to me that was really, really good. And this one is like, I mean, no disrespect, it's like a knockoff. It's almost like, okay, so if I'm going to go and get a Coke, you know, and then otherwise I can go into a Publix or a Kroger's and get their brand of Coke, a Big K or some shit like that. That's what this almost is like to me. It's like a knockoff of Premier Protein. So Premier, that's another dig for y'all, man. You know, sponsor us.
I love Premier. I done bought stock in Premier literally, so I do.
Yeah, I've seen your stash. You got a good stash at Premier. I'm like, dang, she got that stash, yo.
This would be good actually in some banana bread, like homemade banana bread with like big chunks of walnuts, or even maybe, I don't know what it is. I've tried zucchini bread. I've just became a fan of zucchini bread, so I was thinking about maybe using one Premier. I don't know which flavor I would. Maybe vanilla. I don't know. Maybe just for a little density, just make it a little bit. I don't know, whatever. But this definitely in some banana bread.
You know what? I might try that in banana bread. I've been making that a lot lately for the boys. They love it. But we don't like walnuts. We use pecans instead of walnuts, and it's phenomenal.
I love it.
I mean, really good. So it's good. So I might try that. That's a great idea. Thanks for that. When I make it, I'm gonna tag you in it and give you the credit for giving me that idea. You know, that's what we do around here. We give everybody their props.
Yeah, don't be out here stealing. Don't be out here social media plagiarizing. Don't do it. Just say no.
I mean, and it's okay to get an idea from somebody else. It really is. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste this Core Power. If I don't have a Premier Protein in my view, then I'll drink one of these. I'm gonna taste it.
How much does that cost? Are they cheaper than Premier Protein? Like, did it come in a pack? How did you get that?
I bought this one as a single, but I have seen them in Sam's in a pack, and they were around the same price.
Okay.
They're trying to be cost competitive with the other shakes, I think, and they had a pack of them. Excuse me.
Also, Fairlife also has. Have you guys heard of Fairlife?
Hmm.
The milk, they also have their version of protein shakes too. But I know with the Core Powers, if you buy it as a single, it's kind of like if you buy it as a single, it's a large bottle. But if you buy it, I think they have it as maybe a 4 or a 6 case. They're smaller. So if you get a single, it's a little bit bigger. If you get the case, they're a little bit smaller. I don't know what that is all about. But Fairlife
Yeah,
also has protein shakes. Really
this one is
good.
14 ounces, so this one is a big bottle, I think. Because the premieres are normally 10,
11.
8,
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah.
11 ounces.
Okay, so this one is a few more ounces. It's got a little bit more sugar in it. That's a kind of if you're guarded against your grams of sugar intake, against the premiere with that 1 gram, that's gonna be tough to beat. And then, like I said, the flavor, for me, the chocolate for the premiere is off the chain. So I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'll taste this one.
Well, I'm
This is
tasting
what it
mine
is.
like I do every morning.
There it is. Well, Ashley, how you doing on that H2O?
You know what? It is needed. I know that post-op, if I feel dehydrated, like my mood is really crappy, my stomach even hurts, like everything feels really tight. So anytime you feel any of those mood swings post-op, this is my go-to. I stop everything and I just get some water. So I'm good on the water.
Sip.
There it is, baby.
Sip slow.
Yes.
That's it. I guess we'll put it to bed. Taste for the Wasted is in the books, baby. Another one. So next week, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. It's always sometimes it's a surprise. It's a day of things sometimes. Yeah, we got some stuff coming up, man. Whoa. You know what? I thought about something too. We still ain't done the chicken skins yet. Y'all get them
We
chicken skins in
didn't
there?
Ashley, did yours come?
No, not yet, but it should be real soon. Real soon.
I'm gonna order mine this week too.
Chicken.
Maybe we'll do
Let
those
me
chicken
wait
skins next week.
before we close Taste of the Wasted. Do y'all remember last week Ashley tried what was the crap? The chocolate, the peanut butter.
Yes.
So Ashley done convinced me to go get these peanut butter Lenny's and Larry's cookies because she on air talking about some. Oh, these is good. I need this. I need some cookie. So I'm like, okay, my good sis said it's good. So I go and I get a pack. It's a 4-pack, baby. If that they tasted like you know how you see them big trucks be mixing cement and they got the cement powder before they put the water in it. Them cookies are awful. I done put them in the mail to Ashley yesterday. I done sent them to her in the mail. I sent them to her yesterday. Girl, I don't want them. Take these out of my kitchen. I do not want them. I sent that, and then I sent the Eat Me brownie, the little nasty Eat Me brownie, so you can try it, and then the M&Ms. So she got.
Now,
You sent all those to Ashley?
They're gross. Eat them.
Now, hey, Lonnie, you know good and well the two over there on that side are
I
the
know.
grass eaters. Those the
I
grass
know.
eaters.
I
They
know.
swear by the seaweed.
I know. But it's peanut butter. Y'all know how I am with peanut butter?
I like lemon cookies,
is
but
your
that
baby.
garbage I had last week was a sponge.
Awful. No, but so
I
I
love
did
lemon
get
cookies.
I did get the chocolate donut, Lenny's and Larry's, and that joker is good. That's a good one.
Whoa, which one?
It's called chocolate cake or chocolate cake sprinkles or something.
Who makes that?
That's Lenny and Larry.
Oh,
I
they got
found it
donuts
at the vitamin shop, and it is good.
What is it
All
called
right,
again? What's the flavor?
Hold on, I'm gonna go get it.
I gotta find it. I'm gonna go back to the vitamin shop this weekend and find me some other stuff, some more
Y'all
treats.
make
I'm
me
jealous of
excited.
Ashley right now, though.
They have to
I'm
buy
jealous
one,
of
get
Ashley.
it.
She got a whole bunch of snacks coming in the mail. I'm jealous of Ashley right
She
now.
do. She does. So this is the chocolate donut.
Uh-huh.
Y'all look. I had to put it up so I could eat. I didn't eat all of it.
Ooh.
It,
Good.
oh, it don't smell good, but it tastes good. I promise. It smells like plants. It's good. This one is nice. I didn't taste this one. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program. Ashley is wrong. Don't listen to her about the peanut butter, but the other one is good.
Fine.
Oh man, all right. So we're going to the topic of the night, man. It's insane in the membrane. We're gonna basically talk, we got a round robin just talking about the process leading up to the surgery. We've kind of touched on it briefly a little bit, but we're gonna kind of go more in depth with it. Just talk about, like everybody's different. Depends on your doctor, who you go to for bariatrics, whether you go across the, hop the wall, hop Trump's wall and go over to Mexico. Some people have done that. Their requirements are totally different. And, my requirements are based on insurance. Mine was based off my insurance, and I had to do 6 months. 6-month process of 6 doctor visits, 6 dietitian visits, psych evaluation, and I had a 21-day liquid diet before the surgery, leading up to it, which was hell on earth. It was punishment. Oh my God. So for me, it was intense. But the main thing that I took away from it now, knowing what I know now, a year later, and me and Chris have talked about this before, was the psych evaluation. I wish that I would have taken that a little bit more serious. Even though I have had some success, I think that I would be well ahead of the game. And, we're going to talk about some stuff that's going to help people that are leading up to the surgery that haven't done it yet, to know what to kind of expect and what you're getting yourself into and what to set yourself up for success. And that was just one of them, the psych evaluation. And I think that that's something that you shouldn't take lightly. You should really go into it. Hopefully you have a good psychiatrist, though, that will, talk to you and get your mind right. Because really, at the end of the day, this is a mental thing for life. And, the things that we learn, the education that you pick up, you really need to study your documents that you get, because these are not just going to be, like, you can have surgery for your knee or something, and you're going to do certain things to rehab, and then you won't ever have to do any of this stuff again. With this surgery, everything that we do, we have to do it for life. So, you got to set yourself up to develop good habits, get your mind right mentally for what's about to happen, because you're going to be on a whirlwind. Definitely. Lonnie, what you thinking?
So did anybody do any Mexico? Like, did anybody go to Mexico for surgery or self-pay? No.
I do know somebody that did, though.
Yeah. Oh, that went to Mexico or self-paid?
Both. So yeah, they went to Mexico and it was self-pay. So they didn't have like the process that we went through. It was kind of like, here's my money. I'm about to get on this flight. Pray for me. And then they came back home, and that was it.
Have they been like successful? Like,
they have been successful, but I really hold their success to the weight loss surgery community. Like, whenever I would speak about, like, these are how many grams of protein I have to have a day, this is how much water I have to drink a day, she was pretty much like, I wasn't told those things. So that is a part that is scary. So you kind of have to have things set up to be prepared for when you do come back home. So, but she's doing really well now. She's lost over 100 pounds, and I'm proud of her. I just know that I don't know if I would have been successful with that. For me, that wouldn't have been successful for me, possibly.
I have another question. What was RNY? Because everybody here has had the sleeve except for me. Was the sleeve your only option, or did you get to choose? Did you want the sleeve or RNY? Like, how did that happen for y'all?
It's crazy. RNY wasn't even brought up for me. It was either the sleeve, gastric bypass, or the lap band.
That's RNY. The gastric bypass is.
Oh, RNY. It is? Okay. See, well, yeah, it was an option.
Well, so they have like a partial gastric bypass, like a partial bypass, and then they have the full bypass, which is the RNY, and then the sleeve. And I hear that they're trying to outlaw the lap band. That's where they put the actual band in there, right? Yeah, they're trying to outlaw that.
A lot of the people that have gotten the lap band over time, they get hernias. They pull hernias really quickly, and then the band somehow, like the stomach muscles and the band, they don't gel together anymore. And the band gets stuck in the muscle, so then they have to go in and do a whole bunch of reconstructive surgery, and then they have to, if you don't catch that stuff, like, it's very risky. So, for me, RNY was a thing. The lap band. My mom and my older sister have the lap band. But then after I got the surgery, I heard of another procedure. It's like a ball, like an inflated ball that they put, I think, at the beginning. Yeah, the balloon. I heard about that. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know how effective that was, though. I don't know how effective it is. If it gives you the same results.
Honestly, because Dr. Now was doing it for some patients to help them get like jump started.
Yeah, my doctor does the balloon too. I had an option. He told me I could do. Chris, you were right. He did not recommend the lap band because he said there was been some complication with the slipping and stuff like that you mentioned. But he gave me the option between the sleeve and the RNY, and he said that, you know, he felt good about both for me, you know. So and this is why you got to do your research, because I based my decision, and I'm going to sound really dumb. I based my decision because I knew people that had the bypass, and I knew that the bypass was considered the more riskier out of the two. And I was thinking that the sleeve was like something similar almost to the lap band, because they would always say that it's minimally invasive, it's laparoscopic. I didn't do my research to know that they were actually cutting and taking away like 80 to 90% of my stomach out until after I had got deep and, you know, got into it. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do the sleeve. You know, I think that's going to be the easiest one for me because I was already afraid of the surgery. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm proud of my decision, but it's always good to read up on stuff that you're about to embark on and not just go by what you think that it is. Because, I mean, and he said he felt like I would be good either way, because he does make the final recommendation as to what you do, you know. But he told me when I've had my first consult, he's like, you know, I'm looking at your charts and how you are. You could do either one and I'd be pleased with it. So, you know, but I kind of wish I had have done my research, because the only thing that, you know, that scares me about the sleeve as opposed to the bypass is that you can stretch the stomach back out. And, you know, that because I've heard of people that have had the sleeve that go in to get revisions and go end up doing the RNY because they didn't really work out well with the sleeve. So that's why I fight so hard now to try to make sure I maintain and do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, see, for me, before I was like really into it, like I was still like trying to figure out my insurance, because I pretty much took my current job because I knew they offered this surgery. Like I started this job because I knew the insurance was great, and so I went into it thinking I was gonna get the sleeve because one of my sorors had the sleeve and she was losing her weight and she was doing fine. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get sleeve. I didn't even research anything else. Like I didn't know anything else, and so when I went to the doctor, they only offered RNY. Like there was no other option. And they said that was because of the long-term success, like, and the idea that you stretch your stomach out, you could with the sleeve, and that, you know, a lot of people go to the revision, and so they don't do revision, so they only do RNY. Was my only option ever. My hospital only offered RNY. And so I was scared at first because I'm like, I don't know, I guess my mind had been so conditioned, and I had seen way more sleeves on Instagram. So I had been stalking people on Instagram, looking at their pages. I think Ashley was one of the first pages I found, maybe like 3 years ago. I think you were like, you hadn't even got to your mark yet. I remember the first video, you were like in your car, like, oh, I just left my psych about, right? Like I had been stalking for a long time because I'm like, you know, and everybody I saw was sleeve. So I also felt very scared because, like, I'm like, nobody is talking about RNY. Nobody has RNY1. And no, I don't see not a single woman that's 420 pounds. Where am I getting information from? Like, what do I do? Everybody has the sleeve. I need to try and get the sleeve. So I was super nervous. But in hindsight, when I go back and I look at people who have the sleeve or get revisions, it's like they come from, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a sleeve, so I guess I can't really say, like, you know, I have to eat more strict or I have to be more careful. Because I don't know. I know that my stomach looks different than like the pouch. You know, like I can't do a pouch reset. That's not gonna do anything for me. Like I don't actually have like that pouch situation. You know, so it's different. And I'm always so curious, like, how different is it? Like, how different is the sleeve to the RNY? Like, what does that actually look like? In terms of like real people, you know?
So I thought for me, when I was considering getting the sleeve, you know, my older sister and my mom had it. So it's been a great, the lap band has worked wonders for my older sister. But then, you know, my mother was having a lot of trouble. She had other underlying issues, and I didn't want to choose a surgery where I had to go back and forth to the doctor's office. They stick a needle in your stomach. They have to fill the saline to make it tighter, to make it looser. And I'm just like, oh man, it's tight right now. I got to make another appointment. Like, I just didn't want that back and forth. And I didn't want to get frustrated and then just be like, you know what, just take this out, because it's reversible. You could take it out. And I didn't want to have that mentality. So I wanted something a little bit more permanent. You know, but RNY wasn't, it wasn't, my doctor made it seem like it was kind of like something like he would have done it, but in extreme cases. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was that was an option, but it wasn't one of the options that were readily available to me, because by health standards, by his standards, I wasn't big enough to get it. So I don't know.
Chris,
So then I
what was your starting weight?
365.
Okay. That's the same thing I wonder with Dr. Now, because Dr. Now is doing the sleeve on patients who are 600, 700, 800 pounds. And so I always understood that you have to be super heavy to do RNY. Like, you don't do RNY on somebody that's 350, right? But then you have Dr. Nazardin doing the sleeve on these massive humans. So I've heard both too. Like, I've heard, like, you know, RNY is drastic, and I was drastic. At the same time, I know someone like I met during my program. I think she started at like 320 or 310, and she also had RNY. So I think doctors be making shit up as they go.
Oh yeah, they do.
I know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just say that because I had insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and anybody that's watching that's interested in surgery, like, you have the powers to call your insurance provider to get this direct information. Like, you don't have to wait for the surgeon's receptionist to call you back and be like, this is what I found. Like, all this information is available to you. But Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, their policy is if you have a BMI over 50, you don't have to do the 6-month supervised diet. Yeah, and my BMI was 52. So I went in thinking, with all this information I already knew, that I don't have to wait 6 months. But the surgeon is like, I require you to do a 6-month supervised diet so that we can make sure that you have, like, lifelong, the foundation that you need. So I believe that the doctors do what they want.
I'm not gonna lie. So we be talking, we let me not say we be talking. Let me act like I, got some sense. We have talked about how, we do like the 6 months or the 9 months. And my program was 9 months. And I'm thinking back, I'm not going to lie. I don't think I used half of the stuff that I learned in that 9 months. I can't actually think of, like, I didn't take my pre-op diet serious at all. My weigh-ins were not tracked. I actually didn't start trying to lose weight until like December. I got on keto and lost like 20, 30 pounds. And I had surgery in April. Like, I honestly don't think that I needed those 9 months, like, pre-op. And I think it's because my mind frame. I was tired of being fat. I am tired of being fat. And no, I don't think that what they were teaching me was preparing me to eat the way that I eat now. I'm still literally figuring this out every single day. Like, I'm still figuring out, like, I got to eat my 3 ounces of this and my 2 ounces of that. Like, my program at least didn't do that. Like, my psychoval was garbage. I didn't want to talk to her, to be honest. She was a white woman that I could not relate to. So I was bullshitting to get it out of the way. My nutritionist, I couldn't relate. And so I literally was like playing the cards that they were dealing me to get those boxes checked so that I can move on and just lose the weight, right? Like, and drop it. So it's like, for me, I feel like I probably could have went to Mexico and self-paid and came home and maybe seen the same success I see now. I'm 182 pounds down. I probably, in my mind, I could have done that without those 9 months, because I can't think back to anything I learned during those 9 months that's sustaining me now, if that makes sense, from my program. That's my program. Not to say they're all like that, but I mean, I'm literally out here Googling. I'm learning from y'all when y'all posting stuff. And otherwise, it's like, I don't think my program helped me, honestly. Same for you, Chris?
Mine didn't.
Really?
Mine didn't. Actually, my nutritionist was garbage. I told this to Ked, my psych doctor was of no use. And I found myself like telling him things like the mental aspect of this process is it's such a big concept to think about. Like, this is something that you have to grapple with for the rest of your life. Like, I felt myself telling him things that he wanted to hear so he could approve me. But then, knowing the ramifications afterwards, like no one's going to tell me how to eat. No one's going to tell me, measure my food for me. No one's going to tell me how much protein I should have. Like no one's going to tell me that. And I'm just like, that's one. Two, for when I did my program, I was 365. So my BMI barely made it. So I had to go through this whole 6-month process, my nutrition, and you have to lose weight and all that stuff, track your food. I was worried that I would lose too much weight before I had surgery and get disqualified altogether. So I found myself eating more. So every visit, every month, I was just like, my weight went up like 2 pounds, 1 pound. It would go down a pound. It would go up 3 pounds. And the nutritionist is like, the hell are you doing? I'm just like, well, it's really hard, not knowing that I'm not trying to lose too much weight, because then the doctor's going to think, oh, well, this guy can do it by himself. So I'm just going to disqualify him. That's what I thought this whole process was. You go through the 6-month process, you lose the weight, you try to adjust, and then right up until surgery, okay, well, you did it by yourself. You see? Congrats. All right, keep it moving. That's how I thought, because I really didn't know nothing. But yeah, the psych eval, oh my God. I feel there's only one psych eval that you need to attend. I feel like there should be one psych eval once every month for however long your program is.
Yeah.
Like you can't do one for the whole 6 months. That's not.
I kind of think it shouldn't be, I think they need to not call it a psych eval, because that kind of stress people out, right? Like, especially folks that have experienced any sort of trauma, you call it a psych eval, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, you're not gonna, my mom was an alcoholic, my dad touched my sister, I can't tell you about that. Like, they need to call it something else, like a wellness check-in, and then do it every month, and then keep coming.
Mental health appointment.
Yeah, and then keep coming, because I think, again, like the idea is to create healthy tools forever. We want these to be lifelong tools. So even when you're out of the program, you graduate from this weight loss program, you need to do these same check-ins with your own mental health provider. Like still, kind of still have those things. And I was like that too, Chris. Like, I mean, they weren't weighing me monthly, but they were asking for my food journals, which I completely BS. And I wanted to be very clear to my surgeon and the team, like, I don't have a problem losing weight. If I put my mind to it, I can lose weight. Like, I've lost 100 pounds before. I can lose weight. I don't know how to keep the weight off. And I don't know how when I hit a stall because body stall, I don't know how to stay motivated to keep going. And I don't know how to not eat 7 plates at a time. Like, I need help with that. I need help with my portion control. I need help with sustaining the weight loss. And they didn't say that either. I wish that they would have said that during those pre-op months. Like, we want to see you lose weight. We know that you can lose weight. We trust that you can lose weight. We're here to help you sustain the weight loss. Like, those conversations were not had with me, and I wish that they would have been.
I'm so sorry to hear that from you guys.
What was your program like? Because it sounded like your program was nice.
It was. They were just down to earth, and then my surgeon was very serious. She was like, if you don't lose at least 30 pounds, you will not have the surgery by me. I will not do your surgery. She was very upfront and honest. She was like, this is what I found has been successful. And my nutritionist was very down to earth and was like, we're from Louisiana. I know we eat the rice and the gumbo. So she was like, instead of the white rice, can you do cauliflower with your gumbo? Like, can we just not have like fried shrimp every day, Ashley? Like, she was just very honest. She was like, I'm not taking away things from you. I just don't want you to eat it like multiple times a day. So she was very honest, and all of the handouts, she went over every single page with me. Like, oh, she was amazing. Like, she was like, yeah, like, and every month I went and I got weighed in, and they told me like how much fat I lost, where my muscle was, my muscle mass. I still have some of those printouts from when I was over 300 pounds, and it had the goal on it. Like, when you have surgery, this is the goal that I want you at, like, in this much time. Like, and those little papers meant so much because I got to track it each month that I lost this amount of weight. And this was my second go round. So I also had a lot of fear behind me. Like, this is the second year of me trying to get surgery. I'm tired. Like, you said, Lonnie, I'm tired of being overweight. I don't want to mess up. So they were very helpful. Like,
how often do you see them now?
I'm still supposed to see them every month, but honestly, I haven't seen them in like 3 or 4 months. So they've been sending emails, and they email us to do check-ins, but to actually say I've gone to the office, I haven't gone to the visit in a while. Yeah.
I'm so envious. I saw my surgeon, like, when they rolled me back, and then I talked on the phone to him at 6 months, and that was it. Like I haven't. He didn't like my discharge. There's a discharge, and I was so damn high and out of this world. Like I don't even remember what that was like. But yeah, I haven't talked to my surgeon again. I had my 1 year checkup, and that was like, yeah, you're surpassing. You're wonderful. You're gonna be at your go weight, which I initially set my go weight at 220. Like my surgeon didn't even give me the go weight. Like I picked my go weight, right? Like I picked 220 because it just seemed normal to me. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you, like and I mean, I'm after this, I'm gonna text one of my friends that went the same program to see if that was also her experience. But when I tell you, I still feel very unsupported from that. I think it's the weight loss community, and I think it's my desire to no longer be so heavy that's sustaining me all this time. My program was trash.
Now, I will admit this though, I do find a difference between the male surgeon I had compared to the female surgeon that I did have, which is why I didn't go back to him when I tried the second go round. So, you know, I possibly could have had the same experience as y'all.
So did you go through the whole like pre-op stages the first time? Like all the like the supervised diet and all that?
I went through maybe about 4 or 5 months, and my PCP told me that with you not losing, and I think I had gained, he was like, you aren't gonna be approved. He was like, I'm telling you now. It was like the 4th or the 5th month. He's like, there's no way they're gonna approve you because you have not done anything to show that you like learning the skills that we taught you. And that just was crushing. Even though I knew I wasn't doing nothing.
Oh, okay.
I think I did. Whenever like I went in the car, I think I like boo-hooed. But like I knew that I didn't like change. Like I still was eating like Wendy's after each like a doctor's appointment, you know? I would leave from the weight loss surgery and I would go get like fast food. I didn't care. You know? So like I did it to myself. I did it to myself.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't. My doctor was and my nutritionist were really great. He didn't. I thought when I first went in that he was going to be like a Dr. Now type of guy, you know, give me a goal. And when I left, I was like, well, he didn't even tell me what he wanted me to lose. And so when I went back for the next appointment, he's like, oh, I don't have a, there is no weight loss goal for you to do. I just want you to start talking to a nutritionist, follow the program, and, just follow the guidelines. And I came back in like a couple of months and I had actually gained like 15 pounds. And I just knew he was going to let me have it. And he was like, well, you did the psych eval, you've been talking to a nutritionist, you're at the halfway point. And I was like, did he really just not check me about gaining 15 pounds? And so, it came down to it, and I got the final approval, and I did the 3-week liquid diet or whatever. And that's when I really lost weight because I was reckless pretty much the whole damn time. I was eating what I wanted. And I was like, oh shit, I know I got it. Because you keep thinking in your mind, well, I got time to do something.
Yeah, you do think that.
As long as I don't go that much higher above my starting weight, then I got time, I can knock something out in a month, I can drop 20 pounds and I'll be good. And that's how I felt. And I said, and then I felt like, like I was on death row. This was my last meal. Every meal to me was my last meal because I felt like
funeral.
I ain't gonna be able to eat Papados like this no more. I ain't gonna be able to consume a platter. I'm not gonna be able to go and eat a 20-piece wings. So it's like I'm like you said, I'm on this whirlwind tour of hitting all these spots. Like it's like you said, a food funeral. It's the last meal, baby. It's like, and that last week before I hit that liquid diet, I went in. And I felt bad after the fact because knowing what I know now, I can still eat some of that stuff. And I didn't really have to go out like a clown and binge and make myself sick, because a couple of times I was like really sick. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, you idiot, you could have really caused yourself to have a heart attack because of how much food you consumed in one setting, thinking it's going to be your last time eating that stuff because it was really too much food. And by the time I started the liquid diet, that's when I was really up like 15 pounds more. And I was really, teeter-tottering. And then I started the liquid diet. And actually on the liquid diet, I think I lost about 25 pounds. So that kind of looked in my favor when I showed up for surgery day. That was like really cool. And he still didn't say nothing. But he's been a great doctor. I saw him at 3 months after. I saw him again at 6 months. Then I did 9 months. And then for my year, we were in quarantine. So we did the whole video thing. And so now he was like, man, hey, you're doing so good. I only need to see you once a year. So, I mean, and me and the dietitian actually became friends. So, we talk all the time. She did the very first podcast that I did. She did the podcast, and she keeps up with my story, and she texts me from time to time and tell me, you're looking great, you're doing a good job. So I didn't really think that, and we're complete total opposites. I'm probably 20 years her senior, maybe, and but she just, we just clicked, and we just, you never know how things are going to turn out in certain situations when you meet people. So
there are two things you said that I want to touch on. One, the food funeral, and then I want to learn more. I want to hear more about all of y'all's pre-op liquid diets. But so the food funeral, it is silly. However, I get it. Like, I completely get it, because so I was supposed to do 21 days, but I was in California for one of my friend's dad's funeral. My favorite restaurant to eat at is Raising Cane's. It's like my spot. So I was like 40 minutes from Raising Cane's, so I feel like I'm gonna eat Raising Cane's for 3 days. So I ended up doing 17 days of a liquid diet versus 21 days, because I ate Raising Cane's for 3 whole ass days. But to say that, like, I am not against a food funeral. A lot of people in the weight loss community is like, no, don't do it. Don't have your last meal. You'll be fine. You may be able to eat it again. We don't know. Everybody can't tolerate fried chicken or French fries. You may not ever get to have that food again in any capacity. You may literally have to say goodbye to that. And I think it goes to it speaks to your relationship with food to be able to like have that and then leave that where it's at, right? Like, I don't know. I'm for a food funeral. I'm not for eating 17 pounds of food for a food funeral. But I am for like enjoying your plate at Papados and going and having the barbecue. I am here for that, because moving forward, the way that you look at food and your food relationship is going to have to look completely different post-op. Enjoy that last meal, girl. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I'm here for it.
And you know what? That's, I just want to go back to that. That's what the part that I think I ate too much.
Yeah.
Had I just gotten a regular, instead of getting double, portions, like bring it on. Like, I ain't never eating this again. So I'm like eating I got a platter, then I get a platter to go. Yeah, have your food funeral. I think that's great, because like you said, there are some people that can't eat certain things. I was praying to sweet baby Jesus that I would be able to stomach wings again, and I was, and I thank you for that, and ribs. But you just don't know. You don't know if you're going to ever have it again, because you don't know if you're going to stomach it. So I agree with you on that.
Same. Yeah. So tell us about what y'all have for these diets. What y'all do for pre-op liquids? What did that look like for y'all?
A lot of Premier Protein.
What did you have to do? So could you have like a lean and green meal too, or what? Like, you only had
it was straight just liquids. It wasn't nothing. But it was just 2 weeks though. I didn't have 21 days like y'all.
14 days is still a long time.
True.
Yeah.
How long did you do?
Days is a long time.
What?
How long did you do?
I had. You guys are gonna be jealous. I had to do 1 week. I clowned around the day before my liquid diet started. Like, I think I had Chipotle, Taco Bell, and Wendy's all in one, and I just went apeshit. But my liquid diet did consist of salads. I was supposed to have maybe 3 ounces of grilled chicken, 4 ounces of steamed broccoli, and then I would have to space that out, and then have I couldn't have any Premier Protein shakes, and I would do a bottle of Powerade, and then 2 hours after that, if I was hungry, I could have maybe like an applesauce, and then I could do like I had mixed veggies. I could have certain things, especially chicken. Like, man, I remember vividly when it was time for me to eat, I would have my little piece of grilled chicken. Oh man, I would savor every ounce of that, because I'm just like, the next time I'm gonna be able to have something solid, it's like 5 hours from now or tomorrow. Right. So 1 week liquid diet. I did have solids.
I feel like
my
diet did include liquid diet. I feel like you don't get to call that no liquid diet. You had 1 week of like eating less. What's called eating?
It was mostly liquids. But some solids.
Damn, I wish. I was supposed to do 21 days of five Premier Proteins a day, and that's it. No applesauce, no Gatorades, no clear liquid broth. Oh, I could have bouillon cubes. I have bouillon cubes and Premier Protein, and that's it. That's it.
Right.
It was, hell, how people be like, oh, it gets easier. By day 3, you're fine. You'll forget about it. No, I never not knew that I was not eating. At no point did I think, oh yeah, I ate. No, I knew. I was fully aware that I was hungry. It was a food.
Yeah. Man, I tell you
Oh
what,
my
just, you know,
God.
us talking about this and sharing it, I'm hoping that we're able to help somebody, you know, that's kind of see what we went through. And you're going to see that everybody is different. Everybody's journey is going to be different, you know, from beginning to where we are now. Everybody's journey is just different. It just is what it is. It depends on your doctor. Like Ashley said, doctors do what they want to do. Pretty much. You find that out. So I think, you know, we'll put this to bed and we're going to continue to talk about some more food. Chris.
Lonnie wanted to say something. Lonnie wanted to say something.
I
Go ahead,
did.
Lonnie.
I wanted to end this. I wanted us to end on a high note. Share something that got us through. Because I'm talking about how miserable I was and all that, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would do it all over again. What's something that just got you through that really hard part? Like what got you through to get you to surgery and pull you out?
I'll go real quick. My surgeon scared me, but in a good way, and told me the importance of the liquid diet, which I believe was to like shrink with the kidney or the liver or something for the surgery. So if you think about it, like this is a medical, like this is a very serious thing. Like when you go to the meetings, they're going to tell you the statistics of like people do die from the surgery. So the liquid diet is important so that we can shrink your liver so that the surgeon has like the best access to your stomach. So just knowing that I was like doing something to benefit my surgery success was like, okay, Ashley, like, let's not mess this up because we don't want to wake up on the bed and the surgeon saying, I couldn't do the surgery because you didn't shrink your liver. So that's what like, you know, kept me focused with everything.
Yeah, same for me. So my thing was like, I had known someone that knew someone that had just died of a surgery where their liver was nicked and they didn't know and they bled to death instantly. And so that was my mind. It's like, I don't want to die while I'm at home because I'm bleeding to death. I literally had a picture of my liver on my bathroom mirror. I mean, of a liver. It wasn't mine. It was a liver. It could have been a chicken liver. I have no idea what. But it was the idea that I was seeing it every day. Like, I wanted to shrink my liver. When I was hungry, I would think about, girl, you don't want to bleed to death. No food tastes that good. Like, so that was for me too. That liver shrinking was for me.
Wow. Well, I didn't really think that deep into it about any of that. I think what really got me through was the three other people that was looking back at me. You know, well, four. My wife and my three sons, because I didn't want to let them down. You know, I felt like for so long I had cheated them out of a quality of life with me, and I just kept thinking, man, I can't, you know, fail or I can't go back. I got to keep pushing so I could, you know, be doing what I'm doing right now. And to just hear them, you know, we're in the process of moving. We found some old pictures that we were, you know, just going through boxes to see what we was going to throw out. And, you know, the boys was like, man, Dad, look at you. You know, man, they were talking to their mom too. They was like, look at you. You know, both of y'all neither one of y'all look like this anymore. I have to share some of those pictures with y'all so y'all can see them. And it's just like for them to, you know, to say how proud they are of me and, you know, to post on their Instagram, you know, check my dad out, you know, this is what he's done, you know, their friends are people only, you know, started following me, just giving words of encouragement. So that was, you know, consolation for me to say, hey, man, job well done. You did what you're supposed to do. And I'm still following that path. So that was my thing.
I think for me, it was the one thing that kept me going. It's I'm trying to save my life, and that's after every visit, you know, after every test, blood test, you know, especially the nutritional classes, because I was just like, what? Like I felt myself getting upset because she's like, eat this much and wait and drink more water, and I'm just like, what do you have me in here trying to do right now? Oh, I'm trying to save my life. I'm trying to save my life. And I can tell you, and I say this to everybody, and nobody like wants to take me seriously, or they do, and I just don't know it. But if it wasn't for the surgery, I don't think I'd be here today. And if I was here today, I'd be damn close to death. I'll tell you that. And it was to save my life. So that's the one thing that kept me motivated and kept me centered to keep going, because countless times where I wanted to give up, just shred all the paperwork. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. All this for what? I just want to eat. because this is a stressful process, and all you want to do is eat. So the only thing that helped me keep going was the thought that it was going to save my life, and it has.
Awesome.
As
They
we
gave me
talk about
chills.
more food.
Let's talk
What was
about.
that?
I'm ready.
I said that gave me chills.
I know.
Ooh.
Because I think
Ooh.
we all can relate to that.
Mm, absolutely.
All right, give us this recipe because I'm ready. I got my pen ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to take some notes.
All right, guys. So, do you guys know what the difference is between classic red chili and white chili? Let me be more specific. My white chicken chili with aged cheddar chili.
Oh, wait a
Ooh,
minute.
that's a tongue twister. That's a twister. That's a twister.
Okay,
That's
hold
a
on. Let me find
twist.
notepad. I'm ready. Hold on.
White chicken chili with aged cheddar cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's the what are the two main differences between a classic red chili and a white bean chili? Go ahead. Let me see if anybody can guess.
The sauce.
Okay. So one is not tomato based, one is. And what's the other secret ingredient?
Chicken?
The protein.
No. Well, that's the difference. The classic red bean chili is made with meat, like ground beef. Or so I even seen a lot of people make it with ground pork, but it's a spice. It's a spice. It's a spice.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you one more shot.
Oregano. I don't even know what oregano is.
Paprika?
Oregano. No, it's actually chili powder. So the difference between obviously white chicken chili, and classic red bean chili is that red bean is tomato based and white chicken is cream based. It's dairy based. All right. So with that being said, this recipe has, let me go into my notes.
You got me hungry.
You are going to need, oh, yes, you are going to need. Let me go into my notes. I had it up.
While you find that, let me just say this recipe will be posted on the People's Pantry tonight. So when you get this, by the time this drops tonight, we'll make sure to have this recipe posted on the People's Pantry.
Absolutely. This is 40 minutes. This is a 40-minute recipe. 20-minute cook time, 20-minute prep time, total of 40 minutes cook time. So you are going to need olive oil. All right. You're going to need 1 onion peeled and diced, a yellow bell pepper chopped, an orange bell pepper chopped. Doesn't have to be large chunks. Again, you could chop it in large chunks if you want, if you prefer. And then you could mix it up with the colors too. They have red, green, yellow. They have a couple of cool colors when it comes to the peppers. Minced jalapeno. You want fresh minced jalapeno, okay? Don't go crazy with the jalapeno because I know now that we got like small tummies now, a lot of us can't handle the spice. We get the bubblies, the gurglies, and we don't want anything coming out as fire. You know what I'm saying? This is a catch. There's creamed corn in this recipe, all right? So you're going to need yourself 1 can of creamed corn, all right? Okay. I saw a couple of heads turn. 1 can of creamed corn, okay? 1 can of navy beans. You could do kidney beans. You could even supplement for garbanzo beans, pinto beans. It's really up to you. 1 7-ounce can of diced mild green chilies. Okay, you could either do the chilies and the jalapeno if you want, or you completely scrap the jalapeno and do the chilies. It's up to you. 2 cups of whole milk. Personally, I prefer to do half and half. You could do cream and then you could do milk. Kerrygold, the brand Kerrygold has really, really good butter and cheese. That's where you would get your cheese from. Their aged cheddar cheese is amazing. So is their butter. I don't know. It's just little touch of sweetness. It's more creamier, more velvety. So it's definitely in the butter and the milk. So make sure you get yourself a good quality cream and a good quality butter. And then 2 cups of shredded cooked chicken. Could be chicken breast, chicken thigh, dark meat, white meat, doesn't really matter. I preferably like dark meat because dark meat has more flavor. You're also going to need 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. Okay. And then salt and pepper to taste. And of course, last but not least, you are going to need 1.5 cups of aged sharp white cheddar cheese from Kerrygold. So like I said before, this is a 40-minute cook time. You want to make sure once you're browning your veggies, you let them get translucent, get tender. And then you want to throw your cream and your milk in. So cook all the veggies first, your onions, your peppers, the chilies, cook all them first, let them brown a little bit, and then dump in your milk and your cream and everything like that. Let it come to a boil and then let it simmer for a minute. And then prepare to dig into some white chicken chili. So this is, I know a lot of people post-op have a lot of issues with dairy. If you want, and this is where the fun comes in. You could supplement out different things. You could do lactose free. I'm not sure how it'll cook with Fairlife milk, although I love Fairlife milk. You could do light cream. The choice is absolutely up to you. So I hope to see some recipes posted up about this chili. Who cares if it's summer? Who cares if it's summer? Have chili all year round.
This will be my meal prep for next week, so you'll see it.
Ooh,
I love me.
I'm gonna make some.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Great meal, brother.
Is that a crock pot? I could put it in my crock pot, right?
You can put it in your crock pot. You could put it in a slow cooker. You could bake it in the oven. I would put some cheese in the sauce as you're cooking it. And if you have one of those pots that has a dual function where you could put it on the stovetop and in the oven, I would do a little bit more cheese on top and then just pop it in the oven, broil it for about 10 minutes just so you can have brown, bubbly, crusty cheese on top. That's just me. You could, yes, you could also do that too. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is one of my favorites. I have some recipes on my culinary notebook that I have, and I have some on my notes on my phone. So I just go crazy. Because I'm always hungry.
That's
good stuff.
Kid.
Yes.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff, man. It's time for Therapist Bay, man.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So if I read something, I want you guys to say if you agree or if Therapist Bay is off topic tonight, okay? So I'm going to start with our girl Lonnie, our Virgo woman, and I'm going to read something, and I want you to tell me if this is on target or not, okay?
Okay.
So are you really missing that person, or are you just sentimental about a certain period in your life that included them?
Oh. I think I'm sentimental about a period of time.
Okay. So I have two more things that I'm going to read for you, and you let me know if that brings anything up. Okay. So this week and the next coming weeks, I want you to accept the fact that you may need to slightly adjust your course of action. So the way that you might usually tackle something possibly might not have been successful lately. So I know that you're usually like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this way. But that might not have been the best option. So we might have to steer off course slightly.
Okay.
Okay.
That's stressful.
And the last thing is that be aware of others pushing an agenda who struggle hearing the word no from you.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. I did. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's clear to me. I literally have been having a conversation for the past 2 weeks trying to get someone to take my no, and it hasn't been working. So, okay.
Okay. Well, this is just reaffirming the fact that you just have to just stay strong, and that you're very aware of yourself. So if you're saying no for a reason. So,
okay.
All right.
Therapist Bay is on tonight for the Virgo.
All right, Virgo man, are you ready, kid?
I am. I love signs of love making. This is like one of my favorites.
This is interesting. So I'm going to read something and you let me know if it sounds like something that you might be dealing with, okay?
Sure.
Have you been aware of your expectations of perfection lately?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you notice how others perform when you're more empathetic, when you aren't expecting perfection from them?
Yeah, I will say that, yeah.
Yeah, so this week and the next coming weeks, especially because you have a move going on, I want you to lead with honey because you attract more bees with the honey.
Sure.
So instead of expecting that perfectionism from others, I hope that you could possibly dial it back and just kind of listen and hear what they need. And if you give them that honey, they may actually do what you want them to do with the honey.
Good advice. I can be a bit of an asshole, especially
You know, so
when I'm trying to get something done. I mean, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. When I'm focused and I'm trying to get something that I need to get accomplished, like this right here, what I'm doing. I mean, I kind of don't leave room for extra shit. You know, like playing around and bullshit. I'm like, look, let's get it over with. So I see what you mean with that. So I could definitely be, give a little bit more leeway, be a little bit more lenient, and not be a dick.
Usually, like if someone shows me, especially if I know that they're very strict, when they show me that compassion, it almost makes me perform better. Like, oh shit, like he could have cursed me out and went off, and look at him just smiling, trying not to lose his shit. So that's for my Virgo man.
That's
And Chris,
that rough side of Virgos.
Yeah, for real. So Chris, I was very intrigued by some of the things that I read for Aries man. And I hope that they hit you somewhere. And if they don't, then it's okay. But I'm gonna read them and I want you to let me know if like we're on target or not, okay? Mm-hmm. So it says that if you are experiencing any crisis, don't jump into the role of being the rescuer. And it's saying not to jump into the role of the rescuer because when we do that, that person may become dependent of us or just simply stop doing the work and give the work completely all to us or to you.
Absolutely. I find like sometimes I can overextend myself. Mm-hmm. And then it's just, people need to have independence. People should know what independence is. And I tend to kind of be like I got it. Let me because that's the kind of person that I've been. That's my nature. So you're definitely on point with that one.
Yeah. And I feel like we're definitely more similar than I realized. So when I read that, I was like, did that say Aquarius? Like, was that for Ashley? Okay. And it says whatever captures your imagination or whatever you are like fantasizing about, that they want you to give it the attention it deserves. Because sometimes we don't feed our imagination enough.
Yes. Wow. So many ideas that you don't actualize on, that you're just missing out on opportunities and just like shaming yourself by not doing it. So, wow. Yeah, did it hit somewhere? It hit me all.
All right. And then last one, it just says that lately with communication with your friends have been pretty deep lately because of concerns you might have. And that's to not give up on communicating. And some people just take longer to see your side of the story. I don't know.
Especially during these times, like I'm big on communication and I think I tend to do a good job, but it's just lately I have I don't know. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So that's what I have for my Aries man. And lastly, for me being an Aquarius woman, being therapist-based, sometimes we do not use our own techniques. As clinicians, sometimes we give you guys all these wonderful techniques and we don't use any of them on ourselves. So it pretty much told me for my horoscope that I just need to practice what I preach. Mm-hmm. So the technique for all of us this week is pretty much the circle of control. And I've talked about this before on my page. In that circle, we write what we can control, and what we can't control, we just let go, or we try to like not hold on to something that I'm not in control of, right? So that could be done in your mind, on your phone, on a piece of paper. And things that I can control is myself. And that's about it. Like if I had kids, I could possibly throw them in my circle and control, but like I really can only control myself. So that means that I can control my anxiety. I can try to do things to help with depression or sadness or things that might be frustrating. But outside of myself, I have no control. And if I release that, then it makes the world a little bit lighter. So that's the signs of love making with Therapist Bae.
Love it.
Thank you. Love it. Wow. Ashley, you the best.
That was Therapist Bae. Oh my God.
Always.
Always. Same for here. Well, that's it. Therapist Bae wrapped it up for us with Signs of Love Making. That concludes another episode of the People's Pantry. Where can we find y'all? Chris, how do we get in contact with the Spicy Poppy?
Well, you guys can find me on Instagram at spicypoppychris_Ash.
You can find me on Instagram at VSG_Ashley, which is spelled ASHLI on Instagram. Lonnie?
I am rny.bypass.beauty. Yo, my Invisalign be having me talking weird. I'm sorry. It's almost over. That season of my life is going to be over. So just bear with me a couple more weeks. Ken, how do we follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sleeves Believe the Hype. That's where you find me at. And you can find us all collectively at the People's Pantry. It's at the_People's_Pantry. That's where you can find us all at.
That's it. So y'all have a good week. It's Monday. It's going to be a nice one. Drink your water, mind your business, wash your damn hands. And until next time, we love y'all.
Mwah.